practiced Among Us. Like I was in the practice mode, and like my friends were like, "Oh yeah, you should like get it and get good at it, and then we'll play together." And then I never like heard from them again. So I just practiced it. I got okay, and then I never actually played it. Um, but
Yeah.
no, I haven't learned any new skills. That's like I just took that extra time and put it into like video games and TV, sadly.
Uh, Definitely for me, like similar boat. I've spent way too many hours improving my skills in Super Smash Brothers. So if anything, that was a plus. Like, I'm above average now in Super Smash, which is really fun for me because I have a whole like little, besides the band, a little group community where we get together and do little tournaments, like fun themed tournaments and stuff. So, getting better at that. But different skills. I got back into Pokemon card trading, the trading card game for Pokemon. So I got back into collecting and revisiting that passion. And, I got to go back home and I still have all my old cards from back in the day. So now kind of getting back into like the modern Pokemon stuff, which I'm not too familiar with, but it's been really fun just opening packs and doing all that stuff. So that was a new fun thing about COVID. Very recent too, actually. Gaines, why don't you kick this off and then I'll think.
I
Unless you
think
have.
I think the worst part of like COVID for me has been just like realizing how little my life actually changed. Just like I would go to work, do music, do the band, work band, work band, work band, and like maybe 3, 4 months in, I'm like, shit, I haven't like seen anybody. But it took that long, and that long taking that long was the depressing part, the most depressing part of COVID, I think, to me.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, for the band, we're always very active as far as like getting together constantly, rehearsing very frequently. And we spend a lot of time together outside of just doing the music. But yeah, just like everyone else, couldn't see each other all that much. But outside of that, the challenging thing about COVID, at least for me, like just figuring out the work life balance. Like we all got our our jobs, and then we have our music as our outlet, but pretty much doing that all from one location in your apartment, not changing the scenery too much, definitely presents its challenges for sure. And then running out of video games to play. I only like certain video games, so so it's hard to find ones that I want to play.
I'd like to amend also just like having my cats walk on my head as I'm trying to work.
That's true. That's true. And my dog Coconut trying to join every conference call.
I guess at this point, it's like over a year old songwriting wise. It started with like a synth hook, just something that I found that I landed on that was pretty catchy, and just sort of how it normally happens. Um, I logged that synth hook, put it away in my like library of sounds or whatever, but didn't really revisit it for a while until I just sort of got the idea of the song, the controlling idea of rich kids, and that sort of came from at the time I was laid off, and just sort of like really scrounging around. We had all lived together at the time, um, so just sort of just exaggerating on how I was doing in the verses. The verses are just really doom and gloom, and really like just like feeding into like sort of my state of the mind, and then the chorus shifts the focus to like from the have-nots to the haves, and sort of just says it's just sort of like this big um, like get the rich type exaggeration. Um, just all these people breaking the system. Meanwhile, I'm broken down. And then the ultimate diagnosis for the situation is somebody ought to break them too, which is the headline. Obviously, it sounds very depressing, but like we normally do, it's all sort of under the veneer of just like a carefree, fun synth tune. And like if if people who are listening don't dig beneath that, that's totally fine by us. You can just listen and enjoy the synth tunes and the bubbliness, or you can dig beneath that and get into the lyrics and stuff. Totally. There's two artists I love from like the 60s, just Crosby, Stills and Nash and the Beatles, obviously. Um, Crosby, Stills and Nash, they would hit these issues head on. They would try to create change with their music, um, which while I appreciate, it's definitely not my style in terms of songwriting. The Beatles said it best when I think they had said something along the lines of um, that their music doesn't itself incite the change; it just reports on the state of things. And I think that's so pivotal that especially even now during the pandemic, you're going to get so much music that's reporting on how people are doing during the time. And our entry, um, while itself might be small, it's just one part of a bigger picture of people just reporting how they're doing. And I think this song sort of encapsulates how we're doing, not only a couple of years ago when it was written, but also still rings true today.
I think one thing we could share about the band's mentality during the pandemic and with trying to bring a positive light to people's lives during this rough time where there's so much turmoil. Um, our job as musicians and entertainers, as you know, aside from us all being best friends, but like what we've built with the band Shiffley is that we want to spread love and unity with our music as much as we can. When you listen to a Shiffley song, doesn't matter what background, what you know, what religion, what anything, you know, what color, anything. We want you to just enjoy, and you know, if you like our music, continue to check us out. And if it brings you happiness and joy, that's what we're doing it for. You know, we want to be able to take this crazy time and just, you know, give people some stuff to check out, stream, and you could you know, do live streams where we could interact with you and like say what's up, catch up. You know, a lot of our friends and family tune into these streams too, so we say what's up to them after not talking to them for a while. But the music is there for everyone to just like enjoy, hang back. You know, the music is very pop and synthy in nature, so like, you know, sometimes you could roll the top down in your car, roll around, drive around, whatever. But now you can just pop your window open, let the breeze come in. It might be too cold now, but you know, get the vibes going, get the wind blowing through your hair. So we're just here to continue to spread our love of what we do together, the four of us, and just put it out for the world to just do what they want with it, you know?
Well said, bud.
Yeah, 100%.
We have a good pal, Zach Benson. I've been loving his album. It's Hopeless Romantic. Yeah, that just the arrangement, his arrangement style and his songwriting is amazing, and I'd highly recommend it.
For sure. Go check out Zach. Great record that came out. Definitely, we're big fans of his. We love him. So good stuff all around. The colors are really nice too. Like when you listen to it, and that visual from the album as well. There's a lot of cool colors. Yeah, 100%. It's something that we're very focused on now for sure, just because of the current state of things, but also it's given us the bandwidth, and also we took the time to make the live streams really cool and sound really nice. So we have basically the setup for even when concerts are back to let everyone come in during a practice, or you know, do maybe like a little 2000s cover night just on live stream, you know? So a lot of cool things happening behind the scenes. So stay tuned, because we got a lot of live streams coming up.
Yeah, my favorite part has just been like going on live and just like opening it up and reading comments and taking suggestions and just playing whatever people say. We've never really done that before, but it's been fun. Obviously, we get like goofy recommendations, but then we get a shit ton of like throwbacks, songs we haven't thought about in a while that have just been fun to revisit for someone requesting it.
We can't give away all of our secrets, because if we did, then they wouldn't be secrets. But we're definitely working on figuring out the next few releases after Rich Kids. We have a bunch of music that we're excited to share, and you know, how it's going to come, what sort of package it's going to come in, when you can expect it. You could probably expect it sooner than later, but be excited about Rich Kids. We got a lot with it as far as the videos coming out with the single too, in case people didn't know. But definitely we have a bunch of songs. Over a dozen, I'll say that. Over a dozen songs that we're excited to put out. So you could, the interwebs can figure out, you know, what's going to come of that. If there's a dozen songs, how is it an album? Is it not an album? Who knows? We don't even know.
We're still trying to figure out how to put it out. We have a whole pile of songs, let's just say. It's been a while since we put out new music, like 2 years. We've just sort of been like plotting our moves since the last time. It's been a huge sort of break in the action, but now we're going to put this tune out, going to put out songs regularly. And then when this pile of songs is done, we hope to just have the next pile roomed and ready to go.
Yep. And the whole process of putting these songs together, the songwriting, which, you know, granted, we're so blessed to have like a guy like Alex in our band, where he is prolific in the sense of just constant, his mind is constantly moving and writing and thinking of, he's had so many experiences in his life too at the ripe age of 27. And it's just like, it's cool to see from that lens, and also us growing up with him and knowing almost everything about him. Some things he keeps from us, but we usually get it out of him at some point, or we usually hear it through these songs. Actually, like, if you want to know about Alex's life, listen to all the tracks. But I think it's cool to be involved with a songwriting process that, you know, is always bouncing ideas off one another, playing for what the song needs. And it's cool when we, you know, Alex, you could talk about maybe a little bit the recording process of this, but we actually recorded this album with our good friend Alexander Almgren, who actually mixed Paper Cranes, our last album, but we actually recorded everything with him and mixed it with him, all in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, around the block from Alex.
Yeah, Alex is a good friend, Alex Almgren. We have 3 Alexes involved. There's
yeah.
Me, Alex, keyboard Alex, and producer British Alex Almgren.
My middle name is Alexander.
And then Brian's middle name is Alexander. And then Sean will say he dated an Alex at one point. But with the whole year prior to the pandemic, we really just basically like 2, 3 nights a week for a full year went to Almgren's studio, Freshly Baked Studios in Crown Heights. And he was gracious enough to have us and let us experiment. And that we did. We made a lot of cool tracks. Rich Kids is one of them, the first of many. And we can't wait to get this out there and just share with everybody.
Yeah.
It's like when you have like a song on your mind and you can't like come up with a name, or you have like something you really want to say, and then you forget about it for a while, but then you still want it, you just want to get it out there. That's what like this song has been with the pandemic. We were like about to put it out, then just the world crumbled. Now that as we're piecing it back together, or so it seems, we're ready to get it back out there and jump back 6 months and just start this thing.